Okay, guys, welcome to Dogs of War YouTube channel. We got game 3 of our Netrunner tournament. Today we have me, Jesus, and
Angelo.
And we'll be your commentators for this game. We got John in the back, on the left, and then we got Mike on the right. This is round 3.
So I have to say, I kind of feel bad for John. He just played me under the camera in the last round, and now he's still at the same table playing under the camera again. So nothing like having that extra little stress on you.
Yep. And Mike's, like you guys saw in game 1, I think it was, playing Chaos Theory.
Yeah, this is just brutal. A first turn R&D interface is just not something you want to see, especially when you've got something there that you can't res.
Yeah.
I mean, he just lost an agenda and almost lost a Naked Dude campaign. So
that's the same play he did against you. He does it. He protects a blank server. I don't know why.
Well, you know, statistically, the odds of pulling an agenda are, what, 1 in 23 or something like that out of R&D, I think?
But he has ice in his hand, so why?
Maybe he can't afford to res it? You know? You know, it's great to have ice in your hand, but if you can't res the ice, then it doesn't do you much good, so...
Plus, he has the machine in his hand, so... See that blank server? I don't know. I just don't think...
Well, the Mushin's fantastic because it gives you free credits, right? So...
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's a good card, but again, that server that he created right there, instead of that ice being in front of R&D.
True, he could have put it in R&D. Yeah, that is a good point.
And look at this, because of that, he's lost 2 agendas already.
So it'll be interesting to see what that actually is. Assumingly, it's an agenda. If it's not, then don't res. You know, I don't care if you have agendas in your hand at this point. You probably don't want to res unless it's dirt cheap. That's a quandary to res it. You know.
Don't res it. No.
Although at some point you kind of almost have to also. But he wants you to res that so he can then go bounce off, and then he's going to go run that remote and steal whatever it is over there.
That was the last click.
Oh, was it his last click? Okay.
And now, you know, Mike knows what he needs to go to get in there. And it's a 3-pointer. No, it's that's the...
Oh, is that a Project Wotan or a Project Vitruvius?
No, it's the one thing that gives the extra click.
Oh, Efficiency Committee?
No.
I can't tell from up here, so...
God, I'm bad. I can't see. Glare's bad.
But again, see, here you go. He went bankrupt to do that, and now he cannot keep him out of R&D, you know? I would not have res that Hive. I would have let him access the card in hand, you know, even with a handful of agendas. I guess maybe you don't want to give up that game-winning point, but he's only on, what, 3 right now? So... 4 points on Tree side right now. So
no, 3. That's the 1-pointer.
Yeah, but what's the other one? Is it a 2-5 or a 3-2?
Sure.
I can't tell from over here. But anyways, I mean, you can see here, Tree's now got whatever Shaper wants to see, which is a Magnum Opus. So now you've got a Magnum Opus and an R&D interface. And, oh, here goes John scoring again. So, I mean, this is a really fast-paced game. You can see both of them got 2 agendas already scored. Unfortunately, though, unless John can do something to keep Mike out of... There we go. By installing a paper wall. One of the best barriers in the game, in my opinion. You know, it's something you never want to run into as the runner because it's just so annoying, you know?
But here, you know, you tell Mike, hey, get your corroder.
Yeah.
Because...
I think he drew into a test run, so he always has that opportunity. It looks like he has maybe an account siphon in his hand as well. The account siphon's not going to do him much good at the moment. Although that Hive is down to, what, 3 subroutines right now, I think, with two agendas scored?
That's 4 points.
Yeah, 4 points, so 1 subroutine.
Yep.
So there we go. So we're getting a test run, and there's the corroder. So the real question is, do you corrode into R&D and see 2 cards, or do you hit the hand? Do you do both? Let's see what Mike has in store here. Does he have a Maker's Eye, maybe?
Your account siphon.
Nope, account siphon, yep. Smash that Hive to pieces. And get some money back. So, you know, it's interesting to see, you know, we've had this argument in the shop plenty of times over account siphon, and if Netrunner ever does get a restricted list, like Thrones has gotten, and even as you just recently saw Star Wars. What cards do you think would end up on it? And I could definitely see Account Siphon being the number one card that ends up.
I found out finally the agenda is mandatory upgrades.
Oh, okay.
It's a 6/2. You get additional click, which is just very good to score as a corp.
So that Account Siphon thing, it'll be interesting to see how the game continues to grow, and what we're going to see as a more effective counter for that than just consistently putting a ton of ice in front of HQ. We do have that new card that was spoiled coming out in Upstock, or not Upstock, but in the Lunar Cycle, where as a runner you can spend 4 clicks and gain 10 credits. So maybe that's a pretty decent counter to an Account Siphon now.
What do you mean, the corp?
No, the corp one is 3 clicks to res a piece of ice.
Okay.
And the runner one is 4 clicks and you gain 10 credits. So maybe that's a
deterrent for them to running it.
Yeah, because
they can run both.
You could, you Account Siphon the corp, and then the corp turns around and just reses, ice for free. It kind of makes the Account Siphon only stopping them from scoring points at that point,
Yeah, they have to build a very strong card for them to put a restriction that, because if you restrict it and put another X, whatever card currently in the meta right now, people are still going to stick with Account Siphon.
Yeah. But, as we've seen, the restriction list that was invented for Game of Thrones, for example, was put into place not because cards were necessarily too powerful. At least that was not the original design. It was because they didn't want decks to just consistently all run the same cards.
Yeah.
And you almost never see a runner deck today that doesn't have Account Siphon in it. Which, I think is maybe an issue that at some point they'll want to address and say, look, you don't get to run Account Siphon and same old thing maybe in the same deck or something like that,
That could be. So that's Victor 1.0.
Tree's going to take that brain damage.
Tree's floating tags.
Yep. Well, we saw him do it in the last game. He doesn't care. He's not running any resources except for same old things, which, you just use the same turn you draw into him or whatever. So, that's not really an issue. It seems like John's got a real problem with this HP deck in the sense that he doesn't have a lot of economy, it looks like.
Yeah, but I was about to say that.
Because even in the last game where, you saw me playing against him, I never saw, green level clearances and things of that nature either. So it makes me wonder if, he needs to go back and look at his economy. We've seen him draw into Eve campaigns and Adonis campaigns, so I don't know why he hasn't installed those yet.
Right now, Tree's been trashing them all.
Well, he's been trashing them out of R&D, but I know he has at least one in his hand that I saw him pull. But Opus is such a hard econ card to play against. Once the runner has that in play, it's brutal.
Yeah.
They have to make a serious play mistake and face plant into a roto turret or an archer that they can't get through to even have a chance of getting rid of it.
Okay, that's 6 against 5.
Yeah, so we're on game point now. Assumingly there's no more Gila hands to steal, so we should be on game point. I do think Mike's got the advantage still. John's pretty poor. And here we go. Indexing for the win.
He has a...
So can he afford to res that, and will it keep Mike out is the question. And really what you're looking for is, will it keep him out twice?
Ooh,
and that will keep him out, so he'll lose that indexing, which is fantastic.
Oh, that quandary's so good.
Now, what does Mike do here? He doesn't have enough credits to really break anything. I guess he can still break that hive, can he? So, yeah.
Yeah, hive.
And doesn't see the game-winning point. He diesels.
I think that hive doesn't have no subroutine.
Yeah, I think it's an empty piece of ice now. And we get more money. So, tree set up for next turn. Assuming he can find a code gate breaker. Either tutor for it or draw into one, which I think is what he was digging for there. He'll have that R&D lock back. And John being poor, there's really not a lot of way he's going to score anything. So he's going to Jackson. So you see, I don't necessarily agree with this here. The runner can easily get an R&D lock on you right now. You're not going to do a lot to keep him out. And so digging for cards when you need money instead, I don't necessarily think is the smartest play right now.
But maybe he doesn't have the agenda.
Yeah, but I think without credits, though, you click for credits and just draw that top card each turn until you're at the point where it matters. And see, again, you have to expect another account siphon to be coming, too. So now all Mike needs is a code breaker, and he's got this game.
But do we know if John's running Scorches?
I didn't see him when I was playing against him, and I floated a ton of tags in that game.
Yeah, I know.
And even if he was, though, I mean, you're looking at, no credits, so...
Oh, he hasn't... Why he didn't res that?
I don't know. That's been sitting there for a while. But he's been broke, too, so you do need money to res it, so... Toll booth, which is going to be useless. He's never going to get the credits to res it. So see, he's taken 3 credits right there. I think I would have just continued to install ice, even horizontally,
Well,
Get cards onto the table and out of your hand. Or install that, that Cerebral Overrider that's in his hand and get the buck off that and maybe bait tree into a run or something, Clicking for credits when you have cards like that, right there. See, perfect.
that's a Cerebral?
Yeah, it's a Cerebral Overrider.
But he needs to advance it, doesn't it?
He does, but if it baits tree into a run, that's 1 click, at least, that's gone. But now we're going to see just another account siphon, so there we go again. And see, you can see where you kind of almost run into, I hate to say it, a negative play experience here, right? Every turn, basically, John's broke because he can just continuously account siphon over and over and over and over again. And, people say, well, you got to put ice in front of it that keeps it out. Well, you have to be able to res that ice, is the problem.
Yeah. But it boils down to the beginning when he resed that ice that he shouldn't have resed it on the HQ.
Alright, so he's going to get some more credits. And tree's going to levy. So now all those account siphons and all those same old things, right back.
On a very small deck.
Yep. So now John has to sit there and go, well, now I've got 6 more turns of being broke. There you go. He drew into another account siphon and a sure gamble. See, there you go. Account siphon. And I'm broke again.
He needs to get something to protect that.
He can't. I mean, he has no way of resing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have no credits, you can't res. I mean,
Yeah, but he could trash whatever that ice is in front of that hive because it's not doing nothing. And trash hive because it's useless.
You have to assume that anything he gets that he needs another quandary.
I think he had just draw Eli.
Eli's not going to work. It's not going to work. Corroder. Corroder just destroys.
No, but it's costing him 4.
Yeah, but it still gets him in.
Yeah.
You'll account siphon and still net 6 credits. You need something that he can't break to keep him out, and that's a quandary because you're only going to be able to res something that costs 2. And that's the real problem he's stuck in right now. Is he installs, clicks for a buck, and then he has to be able to res something that costs 2 credits to keep him out.
Trash! No, John, no. Okay. No.
Yeah, I mean he really should have trashed that hive. Because he's putting all that ice in front of the headquarters, but it's not going to do any good if he can't get any credits to res it.
He is hoping at least to get 1 breather.
Yep, here we go. Test running for probably a Yogg or Gordian Blade. And then make 1 final run in R&D probably and close it out.
So he's dirty laundry and
yeah, I
R&D.
mean, and unfortunately, a victor and a quandary at that point aren't going to do you any good.
Trash.
So get some bucks back, and he's just going to run again. You know, you trash the card, you run again. Yep. So, sorry you saw that, and then trash it. Yep, and run again. You know, this is what you want to see.
Does he have a...
See, that's unfortunate. That melange probably actually would have saved John earlier in the game. Because you cannot out-account siphon a melange.
No.
Nope. Can't get it out of the hand. Passes it over. Install and gain a buck. And score it. Wow, John pulled that out there right at the end. And you know, people talk about the different identities in the game.
How did he score that?
He gains a buck from installing it.
Okay.
And assuming it was a 2 advance, maybe?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think
without seeing what the agenda is, I can't tell.
Maybe he had credits I didn't see. So, John takes the first one. And then we'll see you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.